Does the fall season seem kinda boring and dull to you? For me it did. That's why I investigated it and made this list of top 3 anime you should watch in the fall season. Maybe there's something you like. Oh, and by the way, this list does not include continuations of anime. I only included anime that will debut this season. So, let's start with Komi-san. Komi-san, or how the full title says, Komi-san wa Komyusho desu, and I'm gonna butcher all of the pronunciations in Japanese as I can't even pronounce in English, but never mind. In English, Komi can't communicate. Hey, I also can't communicate. See, this is relatable. Nice. Okay, a quick summary of the plot from my anime list. It's Shoko Komi's first day at the prestigious Itan Private High School, and she has already risen to the status of the school's Madonna. With long black hair and a tall, graceful appearance, she captures the attention of anyone who comes across her. There's just one problem though. Despite her popularity, Shoko is terrible at communicating with others. Hitohito Tadano is your average high school boy. With his life motto of read the situation and make sure to stay away from trouble, he quickly finds that sitting next to Shoko has made him the enemy of everyone in the class. One day, knocked out by accident, Hitohito later wakes up to the sound of Shoko's meow. He lies that he heard nothing, causing Shoko to run away. But before she can escape, Hitohito surmises that Shoko is not able to talk to others easily. In fact, she never has been able to make a single friend. Hitohito resolves to help Shoko with her goal of making 100 friends so that she can overcome her communication disorder and she can become the king of the pirates. Okay, after I butchered the names of both of them, the manga came out in 2016, so it's been waiting for an anime adaptation for quite a long time, I'd say. And the mangaka is Tomohita Oda. The studio that will take care of Komi-san is Studio OLM, who also produced many of the Pokemon series and movies, Inazuma 11 and the recently popular Odd Taxi. So you can expect a solid adaptation from them. Famous voice actors in the show include Aoi Koga, who voices Komi and also voiced Kaguya in Love is War, Dakuto Kajiwara, who voices Tadano but also voices Asta from Black Clover, so he's quite popular, Rie Murakawa, who voices Osana and also voices Ram from Z-Zero, no Ram, but I mean, it's the second best thing you can get. So genuinely, you can truly be excited for a high quality adaptation, I would say. Komi-san, I'd say, is the most popular show on the list and it has a huge fan base, so I went out and asked some fans for their opinion. So here's what they have to say. Okay, to really know how the fans feel about the anime coming out, I went to 3 different following questions. Now, let's get through some answers. On Komi-san, this user said, it has been a long-awaited adaptation by the manga readers. Hype as fuck. I am a bit worried about the anime because Komi doesn't talk much but writes mostly, so I don't know how they will manage with that in the anime. The trailer and the cast looks promising though. Yes, that's the same I said. But yeah, that's definitely a unique situation that Komi doesn't talk much, but I'm sure they'll handle it really well. I think if first timers were to watch this, I totally recommend it. It isn't too heavy, but it isn't too light either. Just some good old slice of life comedy. I mean, my first anime was slice of life and I wholeheartedly enjoyed it. The manga itself, I enjoy everything, but I would have to go with the adventures of the friend group. It is just fun to see them go through bumps together and do things together and even have sleepovers. It is wholesome and still adds some comedy to it. Could ask anybody here that we are all hyped for this. Here one user says, it's going to be my first anime in years, so you can tell it's something special for the community. I love Komi-san from the bottom of my heart. This manga managed to change me. Just being an ordinary slice of life with comedy, it made me want to be a better kind of person. Maybe it got me so hard because I look like Komi-san. Even though I'm worried about how the production of the anime is going, I'm really excited for the anime. I almost fainted when I heard about the date. Anyway, I just wanted to sell well and be able to change many people's lives as well, just as mine changed. Platinum End. Platinum End is also an anime many wait for that will get published in the fall season. It's a supernatural psychological drama. The story was written by Tsugumi Oba, the mangaka of Death Note and Bakuman. And Takeshi Obata was responsible for the art as he was for Death Note and Bakuman. So the mangaka team is already really experienced with delivering high quality work. So here is what the show is about. After the death of his parents, young Mirai Kakehashi is left in the care of his abusive relatives. Since then, he has become gloomy and depressed, leading him to attempt suicide suicide on the evening of his middle school graduation. Mirai, however, is saved by a pure white girl named Nase, who introduces herself as a guardian angel wishing to give him happiness by granting him supernatural powers and a chance to become the new god. In order to earn the position, he must defeat 12 other god candidates within 999 days. Soon, Mirai begins to struggle to survive as a terrifying battle royale erupts between himself and the candidates looking to obtain the most power in the world. Studio Signal MD will produce Platinum End, who are also responsible for popular titles like Netju no Susume, FLCL, Progressive, and Mars Red. None of which I know, but they are popular, so I have nothing to say on it. I mean, they have a huge community, so I can't really give my opinion on it. The main character, Mirai Kekashi, is voiced by Mio Irino, who also voiced Jintan from Anohana and Sugawara from Haikyuu. Yui Ogura voices the character Nase and also voiced characters like Fuse from Black Bullet and Vanika from Black Clover. Honestly, the cast and the studio aren't really people whose work I know of, so I can't really say if it will be good or not. They will probably at least deliver a solid work. But the mangaka is well known, and honestly the premise of the story really seems kinda interesting. Although of course, I know what you're all thinking. This has huge similarities to Mirai Nikki, and even the character is named Mirai. So yes, while this is true, the mangakas are known for very different style of stories, and I don't think, even though their shows have the same premise, that the show will be too similar. So I'll definitely watch it. But what do the fans say about the show though? Here are what the community says about Platinum End. How excited are you? The community for the anime. Very excited. While I think that this is the weakest story our famous Death Note duo has written, my all-time favorite being Bakuman, this is still a story full of personal characteristics. Characters who are seemingly unimportant push the plot forward. The art is amazing and you never know where the plot is heading. What do you expect from the adaptation? Not much, other than regular animation. The trailer doesn't show any particular fluid scenes or special effects. I suspect the anime will shine with the OST and the voice acting. Do you think people will consume it by anime as their first time will like it? It will also be incredibly divisive, mostly because this manga is neither Death Note nor Bakuman. So many fans who expect more of the same will be disappointed, and some will drop the anime after a few episodes. Some of those who stay will be even more disappointed later on, not realizing this is more of an introspective and philosophical sci-fi story that explores concepts like nihilism and suicide. It is not really a battle of wits like Death Note, and it doesn't have the characterization Bakuman had. However, if it were a short story from Isaac Asimov, people would be calling it genius. So you can see the Death Note mangaka duo really headed to another direction with this story. What do you like the most about the manga? Among the art, character design and setting, I love the final arc. There is a genre shift in the final arc where it becomes more wordy and introspective, and I think this is where the series is strongest at. I sincerely believe the ending will break the internet for a short second. So the ending sounds really amazing, not like some other work of the mangaka duo. But yeah, people are really excited for this one. Hey, this seems really fun. I'll answer your questions. I'm glad you're doing research. Question 1. I'm personally super excited. It makes me worried since the art style of the original is so hard to depict in anime form. But the voice actors and directors seem passionate and the trailer looks good, so I expect it will be good. I think the general community feels a similar way to me. Maybe a bit more apprehensive, but I'm not sure. Answer to question 2. I kinda answered this already, but I expect it to be pretty good. As long as they stick to the source material, which I don't see why they wouldn't, it will hopefully do the series justice. Answer to question 3. I think so, yes. It's very similar to Death Note in the general focus of the story, in my opinion. So if those who like Death Note watch it, I expect they like this too. However, the series discusses a lot of different, mostly philosophical topics, and I expect it will have people very divided and some might even be angry. But to answer your question, yes, I think generally people who watch it and haven't read the manga will like it. Answer to question 4. Personally, basically everything I love from Death Note is here. Just as with Death Note, it's about how society might work when met with challenges and mind games through difficult questions. The supernatural aspects are also super interesting in my opinion and really enhance the story. Answer to question 5. To be honest, I think this season is a bit dry and I don't watch a lot of upcoming shows like I used to. I'm not particularly excited for anything, but I relatively recently started reading Chainsaw Man right before the anime was announced. So it's exciting that I can watch that once I finish the manga. Thank you very much for all your answers. And as you can see, the anime has elements it shares with Death Note, but also very much that divides us. So I'm really excited. Blue Period. Blue Period is a slice of life school drama and very different to all the other entries on the list. It is about a boy who wants to be a painter. Here's the story summarized. Second year high school student Yatora Yaguchi is bored with his normal life. He studies well and plays around with his friends, but in truth he does not enjoy either of those activities. Bound by norms, he secretly envies those who do things differently. That is, until he discovers the joy of drawing. When he sees a painting made by a member of the art club, Yatora becomes fascinated with the colors used in it. Later, in an art exercise, he tries to convey his language without words, but instead through painting. After the experience, Yatora finds himself so invested in art that he decides that it is what he wants to do for a living. But there's then multiple obstacles in his way. His parents, who are hesitant over his unique choices, his more experienced peers, and the study of a subject much deeper than he initially expected. Studio 7 Arcs is responsible for this anime. And as this is an anime about art and the trailers seemed really good, I'm sure the animation will be good as well. And the art style will also have really beautiful imagery. The voice actors in the studio are quite unknown, so it will be quite a surprise how the anime will turn out. The fans, however, are excited for the anime. Here's what they have to say. For Blue Period: 1. Super excited? Well, that's a short but clear answer. Question 2. I hope they don't change anything and stay true to the manga. That's what I always hope. 3. I am certain a lot of people will like it. Well, this man is direct. Question 4. I fell in love with Blue Period from the very first chapter. At the beginning, Yatora is like the majority of young people, but then he finds out that he loves and commits to it, and his whole journey, ups and downs, are relatable and encouraging. I love sport anime manga because I feel like I'm on the team, and the story immersion is strong thanks to the competition. But even though Blue Period has very little competition, it's very interesting and the story immersion is stronger. Honestly, extremely excited for it. I started reading Dr. Stone a few years before the anime got announced, and it reminded me a lot of that series in that it has a dedicated and loving fanbase built of mutual interesting of what the source material conveys. In this case, being art is a beautiful way of expressing yourself. I feel like anyone can easily jump in and enjoy it, and while it might not be up to Naruto or Dragon Ball levels of popularity, I mean, what is up to Naruto and Dragon Ball levels of popularity really? It'll most definitely will have a big community that loves it enough to keep recommending it to others, like Dr. Stone. Incredibly, this is such a great manga and has been consistently good from the first chapter to the last. It's filled to the brim with lovable characters and relatable themes that I think a large majority of audience will enjoy. Good art. It's quite self-explanatory, but an anime about fine art should have great animation and an overall good look. So far from the PV and promotional teasers, it looks good. Definitely, answer to question 3 I think. I think most people will love the characters of the anime the most. The main protagonist and the side characters have an incredibly depth to them that I hope the anime doesn't cut out, because the manga wasn't just all about fine art, but really the artist. And he's excited for Chainsaw Man and Platinum Ant. As you can see, I get the feeling that Blue Period is kinda like sports anime-ish, and it kinda reminds me of Haikyuu, and the community also saw similarities to Dr. Stone, so I think that you should give it a chance even though you might not be interested in arts, and it looks really interesting. Right, as you can see, yeah, we've had more stacked seasons, and this might be a calmer anime season. However, there are still good shows to look forward to. I hope you found something interesting on this list. I will definitely be watching everything on here. Thank you for your attention. If the video helped you or you liked it, please leave a comment, a like, and also subscribe, because I have some good stuff planned and you don't want to miss out. Bye!